For those who have feared that Republican lies on this occasion have been working, fresh evidence tonight of just how well the lies are resonating among some, especially those who get their news from Fox. Looking at two of the most prevalent lies, a majority of those surveyed overall 54% in the new NBC News poll out tonight. I misstated it earlier. It's not Wall Street Journal, just NBC. They believe that the health care legislation being debated would lead to a complete government takeover of health care. Among Fox viewers, the number jumps to 79% versus just 41% of those who watch MSNBC and CNN. The fabricated death panels got the least amount of traction, again, depending on what you watch. Less than half overall, 45% believing the pull the plug on grandma monstrosity. Yet 3 out of every 4 Fox viewers believe this. 75%, hook, line, and sinker, versus 30% of those who were not lied to on MSNBC and CNN. Thus, lots to talk about tonight with Arianna Huffington, co-founder, editor-in-chief at HuffingtonPost.com. Once again, Arianna, good evening.
Good evening, Keith.
On a certain level, is this survey, are these poll results tonight not a form of justification for the Republicans that their lies are working, that they should keep at it, that they've managed to convince a certain part of the population to believe these terrible, untrue things that were never going to happen anyway?
It is, Keith, because the truth is that whenever you leave a vacuum, as the administration has left, you leave the door open for all these lies, all these crazy allegations to actually gain ground. That's exactly what has happened. It's not surprising. It should actually demonstrate to the administration that they need to draw some lines in the sand. They need to define what they're asking the public to fight for or vote for or believe in.
The believers, at least if we also believe this, the data that came out of that Daily Kos poll the other day about who is watching Fox News and who is watching MSNBC and who is watching CNN, these believers would seem largely to overlap those who did not vote for Obama, would never vote for him, may still be viewing him as a non-citizen and or as a Muslim. Why is the administration even considering changes to the health care reform bill in order to appease these non-thinking people?
Well, unfortunately, it's not just the birthers and the dearthers. It's also the senators who they're negotiating with and continuing to want to negotiate with. Gibbs today, in fact, said that the administration has not yet given up on recruiting more Republicans. He has not basically given up on this delusion of bipartisanship. And that's the problem, Keith, because when are they going to give up on that? Are they going to give up on that when those who want real health care reform are down to 30% or under? Because the trend is clear and the trend is downward. And it's not just in these polls that we see what's happening. There was an article in the New York Times about the grassroots, you know, the formidable Obama machine that we all marveled over during the campaign is not coming to the fore anymore. Because what do you ask them to fight for? What are you asking people to go and knock doors for? They don't know. The Obama plan has not been defined. It needs to be defined.
And also, this is kind of a role reversal question, but should this be an instance in which this president might learn something from the previous one, that the Bushies, no matter what, were consistent in their message, that they, you know, they might have been listening to devils and they might have been listening to voices, but they sure as hell never listened in the clinches to the other political party?
Well, remember, Bill Maher said that about 2 months ago. He said we want Obama ideas, but a little more of that George Bush certitude. We absolutely need that, because otherwise what's happening is we had, as you said, Senator Kyle now doesn't even want the co-ops. He thinks the co-ops are the Trojan horse. And Senator Enzi wants more incrementalism. So they have been basically strengthened. They have been emboldened. And right now is the time for the administration to send out a very clear signal about where they're going to draw the line in the sand.
All right, and where is that, and how does it relate to knocking back these lies that are still believed by such large percentages on the right?
Well, the administration, first of all, has to make sure that everybody who speaks for it, whether it's HHS Secretary Sebelius or Gibbs or Rahm Emanuel, need to speak with one voice. They can't allow what has happened to continue. You can't have Sebelius going on the Sunday talk shows and say the public plan is not essential, today changing her mind. Remember, it started in early July when Rahm Emanuel said while the president was in Russia that the public option was dispensable. That has to stop. The public option is essential, and the president needs to make that clear.
Arianna Huffington of Huffington Post, as always, great thanks.
Thank you.